Hi guys, it's John from Evergreen Reptile here with our breeder female Nyx Black Knight. Today's video, we're going to be talking about feeder dishes, what I use, what I like, what I don't like, what I would change about every single one I use. I'd like to start off by initially stating that I do use dishes from breeders, and I do have things I would change about them personally, but both dishes, I've got one from Geckopia and the other one from J5 Gecko, are incredible additions and help in the care of my animals every single day, and I do appreciate their dishes. So starting off with my least favorite dish that I've used for feeding leopard geckos, we have the large Mealworm escape proof bowl. Now the reason why it's my least favorite is compared to a normal Mealworm escape proof bowl, it holds about 50% more area in the racks I use, and I personally feel it is too deep for especially these smaller black knights I have like Nyx, where it's not as easy for them to easily access the mealworms in the dish. I did not order this on purpose. It was an accident. I wasn't paying attention when I was ordering the dishes. I was trying to get another order of these, but due to me not paying attention and reading, I got the larges, so I just kept them because I do have larger animal species like my garter snake that does eat out of these now, so I do have use for them. But for leopard geckos, currently there is no reason for me to use that dish. Next dish, as already shown, is the small mealworm feeder dish. I do very much enjoy this dish, personally. I think my biggest complaint about it is the edges where makes it so that the mealworms can't escape. Makes it so that, like, when I put dubia roaches in there, it has a little bit of place to hide to get away from the geckos trying to eat. Personally, the only thing I would change about it is make it so that there's a way to still have the escape-proof edges, but nowhere to hide along the inside for roaches to hide. Next up is deep dish water caps. I don't remember where I got this from. I've had it for 3 years now, and I've been using it for raising up babies. It holds, I personally use it for calcium and nutrients and vitamins, like bee pollen, to hold that or water for the babies, just to have minimal amounts so that there's no chance of caking on the vitamins inside the rack system and not having to worry about losing toe tips or any stuck shed issues. I maintain a high water content in the rack at all times, especially using these. But for feeding, not the best because it's not deep enough for mealworms to not escape, but it's also a little too deep for what I would be using it for as the nutrient dish. I do have Gatorade water bottle caps that work a lot better, that are currently in my baby rack as we speak. I do think those are a little bit better for the vitamins, but I don't think it meets the water needs of what I would want to do, or the feeding needs that this one achieves a little bit better at. Next, we have one of the original Geckopia triple dish setups. This is from Nyx's box, actually. I do love this design, especially the middle tab for easy pickup. I think the only thing I would change about this that they have fixed is being able to remove the vitamin dish, because it does get in the way when you're trying to clean out either the food or water side for me. I think it's just a little bit in the way, but now with the 2.0s, I have seen that they do make it removable. I'd personally like this entire half to be removable, but that's just my own nitpick, because the water dish I would love to just leave on its own in there and split off these two individually based off that, but still be able to put it in one. Throwing ideas for you out there at the Geckopia, just to recommend an idea from a breeder, what I think. I do love the dishes, and 10 out of 10 would recommend these to anyone looking for a new dish to put in their rack system, their tank, whatever. It fits well, and it has color options available. And last but certainly not least, we have the triple dish idea from J5 Gecko, currently in use from my breeder male Ra. I use colors to indicate which gender is inside the thing just to make it convenient for me. I have purple for male, pink for female, as shown earlier with Nyx's dish, just to organize for me so I can quick look without having to think, oh, this is Nyx's box. I can just go, oh, this is female box. All right, and then change what I'm doing based off of that, looking if they're ovulating or anything like that. I do think I personally would get more of these in a heartbeat if I were to come into more geckos soon, which I might be, so we might be getting a couple more of these J5 dishes. I do love them. I also do love that it's a 3-piece kit, so it's not just a solid piece, which was the only thing I would change about the Geckopia, but as stated, they did upgrade to the 2.0, so they now have options to remove pieces, which is my biggest complaint with the original dish. So I think both companies are making strides towards what's needed to make convenience for leopard gecko breeders. I do recommend both of these to everyone, especially if you can get the 2.0 instead of the original. And if you get a chance and you're as neat freak like I am, where you have to have color coordination, you can easily ask either company for a specific color for what's necessary for you to say this is this gecko, or this is to identify this gecko specifically, like having one gecko having green and the other one having pink and another one having blue. I did pink and purple to make it so I could identify gender, but you could make it so you can identify individual geckos just off the color. And I think that's important to me, and if it helps someone else, I think I'd recommend both of those brands for that. Just as a cautionary tale to anyone who does get the Triple Dish Original, the best way I found to clean these is using one of these circular brushes that you use kind of like the toilet brushes, but not with the pointed head, just a flat head. It spins around perfectly within there, not an actual toilet brush. This is a different, smaller one that I found in my kitchen that we originally used for dishes, but now has been adapted to just cleaning for gecko items like this. I would recommend getting one of those if you do get the original and not the 2.0. It makes it cleaning in those edges easier, and it's a cheap cleaning option to guarantee the best success of care for your animals. Seeing as this video was more of an impromptu video and not the original one that I had mentioned on Instagram that I was going to start working on, I will disclose some of the details for anyone who stays around this long to watch my whole video while holding one of my babies produced this season. The next video will be a kind of like a lot of breeders like Brian Barczyk have done in the past, where if you're given $1,000 to start a business, what would you do? I'm going to make the same idea, but actually going through every single step that I'm going to be doing, because I'm going to take $1,000 and see what I can do with it in that aspect. I will buy a rack, I will get geckos and do everything within that project and do updates with it. I think it'll show newer incoming people how I think and what should be taken into consideration in budgeting. I don't take in feeders into my budget currently because I don't spend enough monthly for it to be negligible in my native bank account, so that will be the only thing not included in that $1,000 budget is feeding, so either dubia roaches, mealworms, or superworms. I prefer mealworms and dubia roaches. Superworms tend to stink up the house a little bit more in my opinion, but we'll see how, as times change, how it goes from there. Thank you for watching the video. I do hope that this video shows you some of the dishes I do prefer, and hope that they help you choose in the future what dish you're going to aim for your gecko needs. And hopefully the next video comes out soon. It all depends on how my work schedule goes for the next week or two. So I'd give it at most 2 weeks, and you'll see the next video where I'm talking about that $1,000 budget idea, the first steps of what I'm going to do and where I'm going to take it. Thank you. Subscribe, like, everything that the normal YouTubers say.